It was the end of 3rd or 4th grade. My school was taking a field trip to the Dells. We were going to see a play, The Wizard of Oz. The play was great. We got to meet the people and we had some lunch. On the way back, my grandma wanted to stop and look at this cage of ducks on a farm. We had a small farm and we raised chickens and ducks, so when she was turning, I guess a white truck smashed into the passenger side of her SUV. I was in the passenger seat. My grandma had woken up, but I was out. I had head trauma. The guy that hit us was an older man. He had heart problems his whole life. He got out of his truck and tried to walk away, even though the cops told him to stay in his truck. A week later, he died from a heart attack. My best friend Nikki was in the back seat. She luckily wasn't hurt. We were so lucky her parents were our good friends. They didn't make us pay a penny. I woke up in the ICU. All I remember is my grandpa reading this book to me. Then I fell asleep. I had been in a coma for a few days, but everyone was shocked when I woke up. I'm not even supposed to be alive. Everyone thought I was going to be dead. Almost everyone came to visit me. I got millions of get well cards and gifts from people I know, fellow classmates, and even people I didn't know. My dad stayed with me the whole time. He missed weeks of work for someone he didn't even live with. He helped me, and so did my grandpa. After about 2 weeks of constant shots in the arm and medication, I was finally able to go home, but my grandma wasn't. My grandpa drove me home from Madison, and to be honest, it was terrifying. I hadn't been in a car since that accident, and I was afraid of it. I just swallowed and sat back and tried not to panic. My recovery took about 3 months. Then I was ready to go back to school. I couldn't be in gym class for 2. Then about 3 months after, I had to go back to the hospital again. It's a scary thing, sitting and waiting for a doctor to call you in at 2 in the morning, knowing you're going to have important surgery that could possibly paralyze you for the rest of your life. When they brought me in, they showed me to my room that I'd be staying in. This little panda stuffed animal was waiting on the bed for me. Then we had to wait again. Eventually the man came in again and made me lay on this bed, and they put a sleep mask on me and told me to say my ABCs backwards. It was hard. I was only 10. I think I maybe got to X. I woke up in the room they showed me. I turned over to see my grandpa asleep in the chair next to me. I tried to sit up but couldn't. I had no strength in my legs. In fact, I couldn't feel them at all. At first I panicked, but then I felt one of those muscle spasm things and I felt fine, and soon fell back asleep. It must have been hard for him, my grandpa. He went from the hospital all the way to the other side of Madison to see my grandma. I don't quite remember what one it was, but it was a far distance, plus the fact that he was also missing work. The recovery took about a week and I was going home on crutches. The rest of recovery went well. My grandma transferred to a nursing home and all was okay, I guess. No one was really hurt that bad. When I was about 11, some family stuff happened and I was taken to social services. I ended up sitting in a room all day with toys. To me, that was heaven. To my family on the other side of the door, it wasn't. At the end of the day, a man walked in the room with my grandma and my dad. My grandma was holding back tears and my dad was just standing there with no expression on his face, sort of anger. We went home, or what's my home now, and for a while, he was driving me from Portage to Partyville every day. But that got hard, so he transferred me to John Muir. I moved away from all my family and now all my friends. I thought I would make friends fast, but I was wrong. When I came, I was alone. I sat in my first class and this one girl talked to me. I talked to her for a while, then one day she ignored me, and I was alone again. Then, when I thought I would never meet anyone, I had this gym class, and we had to walk around the gym with partners. I started to walk by myself, but then I saw this girl across the room walking by herself too. So I walked over to her and we started talking. That was 6th grade. That girl is to be my best friend and still is. Me and her have had many fights, but one of us always says sorry. We're like sisters. But at this point, even through all that stuff that went on, I try to keep my head held high. I have so many things that remind me of the stuff that went on every day. Like the scars on my legs, my grandma's still in a wheelchair, me living with my dad, weakness in my right knee, and the metal thing in my left leg. But through all that, I give myself a lot of credit. I keep a smile on my face no matter what happens. I broke both my legs and I was walking in a month. That takes a lot more work than it sounds. It's like learning to walk all over again. But in a way, I'm glad I went through that stuff. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that stuff.